Welcome back, everybody, to Two Guys, Three Crowns, the podcast about what it's really like to live in Stockholm, Sweden. Join me, Sean, and my fellow American Rodney as we explore the good, the bad, and the just plain weird.
Her name was Lola. She was a showgirl with yellow feathers in her hair and her dress cut down to there. She would merengue and do the cha-cha. Tony always tended more, but I
thought you were going to rhyme something with GMA.
No.
I really thought you were going to go there.
But there is actually method to the madness. There is,
of course,
there is a reason. I didn't have to look very far because I just had to click on my Barry Manilow playlist. But so today I'm in the car and I'm driving and I listen to these BBC daily news updates. Mm-hmm. Just when I'm driving, I just click it and boom, it just starts playing. It's like a half hour, 40 minutes.
Yep.
So a part of the actual news broadcast today was about the New Zealand. The protesters in New Zealand that are around the capital. Now get this. They've been trying to disperse these protesters for a while. So first they test putting on the sprinklers because they figured that the protesters, they're going to get wet and they're not going to want to stay there. And they're going to want to
get like an Aussie adjacent way to deal with protests. Just turn the sprinklers on, see what happens.
Yeah. So they turn the sprinklers on, people put on rain jackets and they stay and they, it didn't really do anything. So get this. What they have done is they have started playing a Barry Manilow 15-minute loop of his music, like blaring at the crowd. So it's like, it's Copacabana. And I mean, it's like all of these Barry Manilow too. So I actually had to switch over and listen to it a little bit today. And then I thought that was kind of funny.
So I already get the idea in my head now. Like if I hear Yamo be there one more time, I'm gonna Yamo burn this place to the ground.
Well,
right?
well, I mean, you just figured that with between the Barry Manilow songs, and I was like, okay, well, I could see where maybe it's hard to, get maintain that really upset, stance.
Here, rewind 15, 20 years.
Right.
The U.S. is out there running into the world, waterboarding people and blasting Metallica and thrash metal at prisoners of war. And here the Kiwis are like, no, we think sprinklers and Barry Manilow is more our vibe.
But but it's not just Barry Manilow. I thought that was genius. They play Macarena.
Oh God!
They have Macarena just going and
shut it down. Shut it down.
So there were people on the freeway. I started laughing so hard because I could just see there where people are just like, no, if they play Macarena one more time, either that or a bunch of protesters, the Macarena.
Yeah. Well, hey, maybe they'll get trending on TikTok. You never know.
Yeah. But anyway,
now,
that's the reason behind my
see, when you started off with her name is Lola.
Right.
See, we had our returning champion, friend of the Two Guys, Three Crowns, Lola Åkerström. Her book, her latest book got featured on Good Morning America.
Right.
Which is,
Good
Morning America isn't what it used to be, kind of a thing of the cultural touchstone, but it's still like, wow.
Yeah.
If you got a book, talk to her, get her publicist.
Yes. Yeah. Shout out to Lola. Congrats. That's really nice.
That's big time stuff.
That's big. That's big time.
That's bigger than Barry Manilow and sprinklers.
Hey, it's actually so big that I thought that my big news, it's actually making my
I
big
know
news.
you've been killing me waiting to hear this, giving me this cliffhanger all week, and I'm like, he better not be like try to pull it Westeros and ignore it. Oh, that never happened.
Right. Well, should I go ahead and do it now, or should
please?
Or should I make everybody wait 28 minutes more? Okay. So here it is. About a week and a half ago, 10 days ago, I applied for Swedish citizenship.
Oh,
it's been kind of floating in the air. We've been here for 15, 16 years now, and legally you're allowed to apply for citizenship after 5 years.
Yeah.
But I've just kind of been, I don't know, it's a really weird. I would say that 99% of the long timers that are here are all dual citizens. The majority, and people that I talk to, and when I say that I'm not, a lot of times they're like,
especially the fact that you've been here for 14, 15 years. It's like, 15, wait, you're not?
Yeah, exactly. So that is, but it's been something that I've debated and thought about, of course, for a long time.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
The reasons behind my hesitancy, well, I guess for one is just, I don't know, kind of sticking with, my American citizenship, and, I'm here, I have my permanent residency. I'm not bitter about the fact that when we applied for my permanent residency, that they said that, I said, my mom's Swedish, I'm half Swedish. And they're like, yeah, that's great. When you apply, do it.
He's not bitter at all. He's just holding that grudge for a long time. But he's not bitter.
No, I'm not bitter. 15 years. But it's not like the process was hard. It took about 5 minutes. I went in and applied online, and you pay your payment is 1,500 crowns, which is $150.
That's cheap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, relatively speaking, yeah.
So you got a fairly quick and easy application process, but they just want to make sure that you have the financial stability, so they want like your income for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And that you haven't committed any, I guess, super crimes. But yeah, it was simple. And,
he's just out here driving without a driver's license and not blipping when he gets on the trains. And... Hey, you're the one that brought them all up on a published medium.
Hey, but how would that be? What if I don't actually get citizenship and they pull up like some?
Well, the famous case is the guy that owned his own brewery down south, right?
Yes.
And he didn't pay himself as an AB, and then they deported him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, as long as they don't pull up like some security cam footage from the train station. But yeah, so I went ahead and sent it in, and then I had to send my U.S. passport because they want to go ahead and double check identity.
Like the physical one, not just
my
a copy.
physical.
Ooh.
And I would. That's
kind of scary.
Hey, that was probably one of the toughest parts of this whole process.
Yeah.
Was sticking my passport in an envelope and giving it to PostNord.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, for real. I feel that pain.
Yeah, they're like, do you want a tracking number? I was like, do I want a tracking number? I dang near want to stay with you while you deliver this to the people.
But it's another thing when you're in a different country and someone needs your physical passport and they take it out of your sight.
Yeah.
Because that was when we were on our honeymoon, Hanata and I, we did Thailand and Vietnam. And we had to stop in Doha and Qatar, and then fly through to get into Vietnam first. And there's like the murals of communist propaganda on the wall and all this stuff. And then they're like, okay, give me the money for the fee and your visa. Like you can't apply for the visa until you get there. And then they're like, hand me your American visa, or your passport. Hand me all the passports. And they take it. And they disappear from the window and they go in the back room. And then you're sitting there for like an hour.
Right.
And you're just like, oh my God, I'm going to die. I'm going to be on Discovery Channel in 10 years. Get me out of here, people. But it's wild, man. Yeah.
Be like, one guy, 3 crowns. Be like, what happened to Sean? He went on a trip and
it was supposed to be a 3-hour tour.
Yes. That's yeah. But I sent my passport. They got it the following day, turned around, and I got my passport back like 2 or 3 days later. So, I mean, it was like there. I guess they opened it, took a look at it, and sent it back. So now it's just a waiting game to find out if I get my citizenship or not.
Well, I'm still sitting here wondering if I'm going to ever get the permanent residency. Me and Dylan. Just playing that waiting game.
Hey, if I get my Swedish passport, you guys can have my residence. You and Dylan can split my residency permit.
And meanwhile, Germany still won't look at my paperwork.
Yeah.
What can you do, man?
Hey, it is. It's crazy. It's crazy, but it's.
But on the bright side, COVID doesn't exist here now.
No, as of last Wednesday.
Right. Wednesday.
Yeah. People lined up. I don't know if it was here, but I did see that people were lining up like ahead of midnight it was like Tuesday to Wednesday, because I guess it took effect at midnight.
At like 12:01, yeah.
Exactly.
Or 0001.
So people were lined up. They're like doom, 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 doom.
Now we're going to put all the parties together.
Masks off.
But like, the only thing that I've noticed, because I think a lot of the businesses are just keeping everything in place.
Right.
Like they co-op, ICA, they still have the please keep your distance signs and all that kind of stuff just in case, because like, what are we going to take it down for if we have to put it back up in a week?
Exactly.
But like, everyone's already had this kind of vibe and mentality to them already, especially because Omicron went through everybody, and it's just like, oh, well, screw it. I got 3 months of immunity now, extra immunity, so I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
But like, the one thing that I have noticed is Stockholm Live, Ticketmaster, man, they are just emails after emails after emails. They're like, oh, this is coming to town. This is coming to town. We can do anything we want now.
Right.
Soccer games.
800,000 people at the Coliseum. Yeah.
Exactly.
I shared with you my experience last week. There was just a ton of train problems all last week. All last week was just it was just train hell last week. And it actually caught up to me on my way home on Wednesday last week. Coming back, and all of a sudden, a large chunk of how I get home was just out. They were just you have to get on a bus. So you ride the train, and then you have to get off, and you get on a bus, and then the bus takes you to a functioning train stop. So I was ready to take it in stride. I had a heads up. It wasn't something that caught me completely off guard. I knew that there was stuff going with the train. So I'm like, roll with the punches.
And it's not like you can just get a 2-hour Uber in Sweden.
No.
That doesn't fly.
No, Klarna.
That's not in the budget.
Klarna.
Klarna. Yeah, just put it on layaway. I'll keep paying for the rest of my life.
Put that on my monthly bill. But yeah, so I wasn't surprised. On the train home, I get about almost halfway. And then they're like, okay, now everybody has to get off the train and then hop on the buses. And there were a lot of fools on that train. I mean, there were a ton of people on that train. And I think it was because the train before it had been canceled. So it was like,
oh God,
it was like a double stuffed Oreo full of people.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
But as we get off, and we're kind of streaming towards where these buses are supposed to be.
Wait, this is the time with the shouting lady, right?
Exactly. But this is actually leading.
I have the
up to
spoiler alerts because I was getting live texted in real time.
Oh my goodness! So all of these people, I don't know how many people we were. We were a ton of people, and we're all going towards. It's already dark outside. The weather's kind of,
and everyone's eyeing each other, like side eyeing each other, being like, "We ain't all gonna fit on that bus." And they all start walking faster.
Yeah, people are walking faster, and people. It just you're standing kind of sandwiched in between, and people are in the
Swedes on public transportation. Yeah, it's a disaster. Ingress and egress.
It was that kind of a feel. So a bus comes, and people start like entering this bus from the front, the side, the back,
storm the gates.
Yeah. So, I like squeeze in between there, and I'm like, I'm getting on this bus. I am not going to be one of the, 20 people that didn't get on the bus, and it was packed. So
because here in Sweden, like if you're one of the, especially in the UK, if you're one of the 20 people that doesn't get on the bus, the next bus, you're in the front of the line. Okay, now I don't have to worry about it. No, in Sweden, you're in the same situation again, like getting on a train to Tokyo in the middle of rush hour.
Yeah.
Like you have to fight all over again.
Yeah.
Like the Battle of Gondor in Lord of the Rings.
But I was so determined that I was on that bus. I was like maybe like I think
I've applied for my citizenship. I'm getting on this bus.
Yes. But, there was one guy, of course, that tried to squeeze on, but the doors wouldn't shut. So you could see like the doors are like, eek, bam, eek, bam, eek, bam. And everybody's looking.
And he's like just looking down like, it's not me.
Yeah,
he was like,
he was like, keep on trying. We were like, hey, bro, you just need to.
And then someone does like the Leonidas in 300, like, this is not your bus. Kick you out.
But catch this. This guy was actually wearing a uniform. So he was either a bus driver or works for the for the transport for the company. He's either a train driver or a
So he gets extra demerits.
I mean, we're all looking at him going, bruh. I mean,
we ain't getting out for you today.
Yeah. So he finally gave up and backed off of the bus. So he got off the bus. He's like, oh, I'll just wait for the next one. And we're like, dang, yes. So the doors.
Bleepity bleep, right you are.
So the doors shut. The bus starts taking off, and we are scrunched together. I'm holding up, on the railing, trying not to. I'm sandwiched between.
Yeah, you're like craning your arm to hold on to the bar so you don't like smash into the old lady next to you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sounds like London. It's quaint, very quaint.
And then that's kind of when I start looking around going, I wonder where exactly this bus goes.
Oh, Rodney.
Yes.
You're going back to Kista.
I was on the wrong bus. I was on the wrong bus.
There you go. That Uber is looking mighty nice right now.
Hey, and when you're sandwiched in it's not like I wasn't going anywhere. I was just like, okay, here we go. I guess I get to see where everybody else lives.
I love that. I'm going to use that now. Yeah. Well, at least I get to see where
everybody else lives. Right. And hey, by the time this bus got to where we were going, it was like me and 4 other people. So.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So, I mean, everybody else kind of knew. I guess they read and knew what was happening. It was just me in my finite.
Oh, my God, man.
Yeah, it was crazy. But and this is where I'm going to sneak in a pet peeve, because I was reminded quickly of another pet peeve while I'm sandwiched in there. I always take my backpack off. Whenever I get in, usually when I ride.
Me too.
But in crowded situations, I take my backpack off and I put it by my feet, because anybody wearing a backpack is instantly 2 people wide.
And not only that, if like I have the backpack that it's like the anti-steel backpack, so all the zippers are on my between the backpack and my back. But if you have a normal backpack, then you can't feel anything. Everyone's jostling around all the time, so someone can steal your stuff right out of the thing. You won't even know it when it's that packed. But yeah, you totally. That's like common courtesy. Take the thing off, put it between your feet. That's it.
Well, somebody didn't tell the Mount Everest hiker that was in front of me, because his backpack was so huge and it's like pushing me in the face. Halfway into the trip, I guess his legs start getting tired. So he starts doing these like stretching. He's doing stretching moves, and his backpack is like knocking me in the, yeah. So people.
Like, I know you have an immigration thing pending, but you got to be like, bro, you sit down now. Like someone got a backpack that big, just like pull it backwards. They can't do the with the center of gravity change.
Let me tell you something. As soon as I get my citizenship and I am no longer a guest in this country,
I got problems with all you people.
I got some things to share with you, fellow citizens. No.
Holy bleep. Where's the Tylenol?
Right. Swedish Rodney and American Rodney on the bus together. Yeah, so that was kind of, and mind you, that was half of my journey home. It took me in total 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Wait, hold on. Where did the bus go, actually?
It went to Handen. It went to Västerhaninge, which is like almost halfway. Well, actually, no. I was supposed to go to Västerhaninge, but I ended up a couple stations before that.
Wait, so it's the same general direction, but instead of going all the way, it was one of those that they just stop it inexplicably halfway through.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. We have that same problem when we try it in the summer when we go to the big beach.
Right.
Out to the east of us, that every time Google Maps says SL, they say the same thing. This bus will take you all the way.
Right.
And without fail, like 3 kilometers away, they're like, nope, everybody off. I'm done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, bro,
yeah.
Come on, man.
But I ended up having to switch to another bus. But
at least you're not going like perpendicular to your destination or backwards.
I figure as long as I'm going south.
Yeah, exactly.
Or southish.
The Uber fee is coming down significantly.
Exactly. Pretty soon, as long as you maybe I could bike from here. No, but I switched to another bus, which is like a city bus. And I'm like, okay, this is going to take another 10, 15 minutes, but I'll eventually get to the train station that's working where I can hop on a train to make the rest of the way. Right. Yes, that is when a cup full of crazy entered my life, because there was a woman that it was nice to know that crazy is international. That it's not just limited to certain.
See, in the 305 in Miami, This next story is why no one takes the bus, because you're always, every single time, you're guaranteed to run into this person.
Yeah.
But here in Sweden, at least our bus lines that we get, we typically don't.
Right.
So please elaborate for everyone at home.
Yeah. So, last stretch of the bus ride, I'm like, okay, this is it. I just need to just hang in there. I only got 10, 15 minutes left. The rest of the people on the bus, there was maybe 20, 30 of us. Everybody just looks tired. Everybody just
Rodney's
wants to...
grown a scraggly beard at this point. His face is weathered. He's turning gray.
Yeah. I look like Tom Hanks in Castaway. I mean, I was I'm going through the different phases here. But... that all of a sudden, because I looked around when I got on the bus, of course, I'm just like, look around, take a little casual look. And I see an older woman that looks, let's just say I didn't exchange glances.
A little off center.
Yeah, she was a little off kilter. And you could just feel that vibe. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, okay, just, head down and just get to the next station.
You've applied for your citizenship. You're like Swedish at this point. Just like don't acknowledge any kind of confrontation.
Yes. So she starts yelling really, really loud, just out of the blue. God. In Swedish, in perfect Swedish, she's yelling really loud that she was kidnapped and she was brought to Sweden against her will, and that she had been abused, in a variety of different ways, and then she got really quiet, and everybody's just kind of trying not to look at her directly. I didn't want her to come sit next to me, but and then it was just another barrage of of this, and she was speaking perfect Swedish, and she said that she had gone to a hospital and that the people at the hospital were very mean, and she just seemed really, really out there. And then all of a sudden she would say, oh, does anybody know if this bus stops at the station that we're going to? So there was a very surreal kind of instances of clarity in between the rest of of this.
Wait, she goes, wait, is there a max at the next station, or should I have gotten off here?
Exactly.
Like, just
and then she
clarify.
went on. Yeah. And then she went, yeah, it was an interesting 3 hours, home. The last portion of it they weren't very eventful because the rest of the trip was so entertaining up to that point.
But you eventually made it home, obviously.
I did make it home, and I made it through crazy hump day. I mean, it was definitely.
See, I've run into these people mostly on the subway, particularly when it's like rush hour times. Normally, it's the people who are out of a job or they're destitute or whatever, coming around with their paper cup and like, oh, give me some change. I'm like,
yeah.
Bro, like no one has physical money in this country. Like, okay, you can swish me. Like, damn it. So I learned that lesson.
Yeah.
And then now I can still at least fall back on, I don't speak Swedish, dude. I don't know what you're saying. Oh, really? Where are you from? Yeah. So
switched over to
Stockholm. No hablo inglés. No falo inglés.
Yeah, it was a pretty crazy ride. Literally, it was a pretty crazy ride.
But made it back successfully. That's all you can ask for.
Yes, and locked myself in and said, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying safe.
Well, until this week.
Yes.
And then you get to do it all over again.
Exactly. That's true. I hadn't thought about that.
It's waiting for you. Just be like, yeah, we're still here. You're going to do this again.
Oh, no. Sean, we have kind of an exciting thing happening in about a week, or actually in exactly a week.
Do.
Yes,
we do. I can't believe it has happened already.
Yes. And that would be that next Sunday is our 3-year podiversary. I don't know what you would call it.
Podiversary. Of sitting around Rodney's table and going, wait, this setup is not going to work.
It'd be like, does this sound right to you? Does this sound right? Does this sound right to you? Yeah. 3 years.
Oh, it sounds fine now. And then I get home and look at the files later and be like, yeah, this ain't going to work. And then we initiated the system of Rodney changing to different recording methods every month.
Hey, which is another thing that we should bring up, because people might be like, hey, isn't it time that you guys had a guest? We've had some typical...
See, what happened was...
We've had some technical challenges the last 5 weeks, and have switched back over to I'm going to say more dependable recording resource.
Yeah. So the past few weeks, Rodney always loves to switch up like the company that we're doing the recording from, because we can see each other and it makes the remote thing, the COVID thing, so much easier.
Right.
So every couple months he's like, oh, hey, so I got this idea. We're going to go to a new place and then we're going to do the recording over there.
Right.
So the latest round, everything was working fine when we were on the free/basic platform. And then it's like, okay, we're going to make the jump. Let's make the jump. Okay, we're going to do it. Rodney pays for the account. First episode. Hey, dude, where'd you go? What happened? You're frozen.
Can you hear me?
Your face is frozen on the screen. I can't see you anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it has been a tough couple weeks technology-wise, but depending upon how this episode goes, then we expect to have a guest pretty soon.
Well, now we've done the change back again, so we've got basically another quarter till we have to change to another provider, right? That's
exactly that's
how we go.
That's about the timing. We're probably going to go full circle and end up with our original.
Oh, maybe that's a good idea for the 3-year anniversary. Go back to the original.
Wow. Yeah, maybe they don't want us back.
Hey, maybe. Or we put like Zoom into the mix. Who knows what could happen? Sparks fly.
Who knows? Hey, this week, American Club, third Thursday. Is that maybe something?
Restrictions lifted.
That's what I'm talking about. Put up some info there for anybody in Stockholm on Thursday.
Thirsty Thursday. So where is it? Is it still at the Hilton on Slusen?
It's going to be at that place. That means that I have not checked.
Okay.
I have not checked, but I will post. I will post where
that place.
That place.
You only know if you've been there before. It's one of those. It's our kind of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, forget about it. You don't need to worry about it.
The one with the front door.
Will get you in, no problem.
The one with the front door.
It's a red sauce joint.
Yeah. Tell them Rodney and Sean sent you.
All right, everyone, that is going to do it for this week's episode. But don't worry, the Two Guys, Three Crowns goodness doesn't need to stop here. Head over to our Instagram page. Check us out. We've always got something fun going on. Also, if you are listening to this on a podcast app, and of course you are, go in there, leave us a review, give us a recommendation, a rating, all that good stuff. It always helps. And then come back here next time for more Two Guys, Three Crowns.